I'm at 10360 Calvary Road in Independence, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any, structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may cause any backups or any issues with the line, or potential issues for the buyer. So we are going in through the stack in the center of the basement, in this little utility room with the I believe this is the laundry room, but it also has the hot water heater and HVAC in it. The line is PVC. It should be PVC all the way out based off of the age of the house. And so you can see there is the stack, and here is the room that we're in. To try to wipe off the camera a little bit here. There we go. Quite a few turns there. We have another one. Wow. I think that's like 4 turns already, and I'm only in there 20 feet, which is not real common from an access point like this. Usually straight out. So let's hope that we can keep going here. A little bit of a little spot where that comes down in dog legs, where there's some debris sitting, but nothing really sitting there. I just need another flush or so. Okay. Another 45 here. What I may try to do is maybe turn some water on in the basement bathroom to try to look at this. So far, everything looks really good. Just a lot of turns. So for the camera, sometimes it makes it a little tough to get it going. There's a slight belly. Just for reference, the camera is only about 1/2 inch off the bottom of the pipe. So that's not really a whole lot of water. Very minimal belly. But I will reference it on the report. Here we are. Looks like we're dropping and making another 45. Again, this looks a little flat. Again, it's roughly 1/2 inch of water. Maybe a little more if it's covering the lens, but it's not much. And so we'll be able to get a better look on the way back. Trying to make sure I make it all the way out. Okay, so now it looks like we are going underwater, and this could be a problem here. Okay, so stop here and get a locate. This is pretty weird. I'm dropping, but there's a pretty large belly right before this drops in. And I'm not sure exactly where this is. This may be dropping straight down into the main. You can see where it says 76 degrees. The image of the camera can kind of tell you how it's hanging, you know, vertically. So I believe this is dropping straight into the main, but I'm going to go locate this, find out exactly where it is. But we will have to mark that there is a pretty big belly. I have to come back horizontal to be able to get a good locate here. And so it really is strange because I think there's a belly that comes into this connection and before it drops off and straight down into the main. So need to go get a look at this, find out where we are, see if we're right on the main, and we'll mark it as we find it and see, and then we'll try to get a better look and find out if this is actually over the main. So again, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so we are out back coming at an angle, and there's another clean out in the floor here, a couple feet off of the stack. And so going through the stack, we went back into the house, wrapped all the way around, and then came back out the back of the house. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull back. We're going to be able to get a look at the line a little better. But I think I'm going to be better served to try to go make a second pass through this floor clean out to be able to try to get a little further, because right now I am going to be stuck right at this point because the camera will not make the turn to drop off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark the end of this belly as I pull back, and that way you can kind of tell what is going on as far as where that belly is, and have that, because that is a pretty deep belly there. But I think because of that drop off, it would almost run like a trap. It will once it overtakes it and gets into that line, but this is a pretty substantial belly. As you can see, the water is up to the top of the pipe. So I'm going to pause the video again real quick here so that it's already marked, and then once I push from the other clean out, I won't have to stop and mark this again. So I'm going to pause and locate the upstream, or the beginning of the belly. Okay, so that is the upside of the belly. Now, as you can see, that is the full diameter of the pipe, so this is going to have to be addressed. It does need to be repaired. You know, I don't know how long it's been there, but it should be.
You're welcome.
But it should be referenced to, it should be forwarded to, you know, a licensed plumber or multiple, to get multiple quotes here to see what it costs to dig it up. It is approximately 5'3" to the invert on the upstream side, which is this side, and then on the bottom side, I believe it was like 5'8" or something like that on the other side of it, because it does go down and come back up a little bit. Those are both invert measurements, which just means that's exactly where the camera is, so it's the inside bottom of the pipe for that measurement. So roughly 4 inches higher than that is when they should hit the top of the pipe. 3 inches to 4 inches. So we're going to continue pulling back, and we'll get a look at let me turn the locator off so we don't have the interference. We'll take a look at this. I mean, everything else looked really good structurally. Like I said, there was some slight bellying, a little bit higher in the pipe. Those I don't feel are really much of a concern because they are such a small amount of water. You know, if it's not really covering the lens, that can be overtaken rather easy. It just means the line is fairly flat. But if they are addressing the one, I mean, I guess they could take a look at some of these other ones. But I don't think that these are really, like I said, 1/2 inch in a PVC pipe. there's no solids catching in these areas. It's just a little bit of water, so they would take over that small belly pretty easily. And that way, usually they don't cause much of an issue, especially if you are putting the right materials down the line. You know, toilet paper and natural material, no paper towels, wet wipes, all those things are a no-no in a lot of situations. You don't want to use them in even a brand new sewer, so they can always cause issues. Okay, so the reason we were making all these turns is we actually went back into the house and made a complete loop and then went back out of the house. And so what I'm doing here is I'll show you as I pull back is I am going to come out of here. And what I will do is we will shift a little bit. I'll show you how we're going straight into line right here, and this clean out, we should have more of a straight shot to get out of the house. Hopefully that'll mean we can make it a little further than last time. So that turns as soon as we get out of the line. I'm going to go rather quickly through this first set since we've already looked at it. And you'll be able to tell when we get back into that clean out, or I mean that belly, I'm sorry. And because I'm going faster, I'm actually pushing a lot of this water in front of the lens and make it so it might look a little deeper, but here we are coming up to that large belly, and it does seem like there are solids resting in here. Okay, now we need to try to go down this. I think I am getting down it now. Okay, so I was able to make it through that spot. Do have some goo on there, and I'm still hanging straight down. And now I'm going back flat to head towards the main. We'll have to see. There we go. So, good news is I was able to make it past that point with the after making the move to the other clean out with a little bit straighter shot. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start running some water in the bathroom. That should help carry the camera a little further because I'm not exactly sure. There are two mains come together. One down the left side of the house if you're facing it, and the other one being behind the house. And so I'm not sure exactly where this ties into, but I believe it's in the rear before it enters the manhole. So we're going to also mark that tap once we get there just to have some information. But I'm going to pause for a second and go turn some water on. Okay, so the water is running. Obviously you can see how it's flowing down the pipe. So it is working well as far as regular just water, but that spot is still catching a lot of solids, which could, obviously cause a major backup, and may have in the past. It looks like this clean out has been out previously. That doesn't mean anything, but hopefully with all this water here we can get a little bit of help, and we'll get this thing all the way to the main. think I'm coming up on the main there in front of me. Yes, I am. So, we have made it all the way to the main. I am going to go mark this spot just so we know the, the actual direction and, and route that the lateral takes. And then I'll come back in, shut the water off, and we'll pull back and finish up the inspection. But and so I'm also going to make note of those 2 spots and the depths on the report. Okay, so this line actually goes out diagonal, and then it ties in just upstream of the manhole, which means if you're staring at the house to the left, there's a main that runs down the left side of, it's the left side of the house, but it's also to the left of that driveway that goes back to the house behind here. There's a manhole in the backyard of the house directly next door, and the main comes down, basically follows the driveway on the left side of it, and then ties into that manhole, and this comes in right before the manhole. This is about 14 feet deep to the invert. This was just a reference mark, obviously no issues here, but just to kind of get an idea of, the direction the line runs and the route it takes. So, I mean, the majority of the line, looks good. We just have that one belly there before it drops off, and that is an issue because that could have caused previous backups, and it could definitely cause one in the future that needs to be addressed. Trying to get some more water on the front of this thing to clean it off. We still have a little bit of goo because of that belly. There's some solids down in that belly in the water, and stuff gets on the front of the camera and it's not as clear as you'd like it to be. But I think we're getting ready to turn up. Yes, we are hanging vertically. And that is 5 to 6 foot drop there. And then here's the end of the belly at about 59 feet. You can see all the stuff floating around. And then 59 feet to about 50 feet. 52. So 52 to 59. About a 7 foot belly there. There's a little bit of added water here, but you would probably have to come back even a little upstream of that just to make sure you can flatten this out. And you may have to extend that vertical to get that belly out, but this is going to have to be referred to a licensed plumber to make sure to get some quotes, but that will definitely have to be fixed. See, all this is just some extra water. We've already inspected this distance of pipe from here back to the clean out, and you can see, with all that water running, that it's coming up about halfway through the pipe, maybe about half the diameter, but it's all clear. And so we made it all the way back to the clean out. We're back in the drum. But again, for the final time, we're gonna the line looked really good with the exception of that 5 to 7 foot belly there out back. The upstream side is underneath the concrete slab in the back, and that concrete slab Looks like it's also dropped. So it could just be a problem with something, you know, something that was used as backfill may have rotted away if it was organic. It could have just been the hillside dropping a little bit, and it looks like it took the sewer line and the pad, the concrete slab with it, for the back porch. So I'm going to recommend that this get forwarded to a licensed plumber, but I do recommend that this be fixed, because this will cause backups with solids and stuff because of how drastic the belly is. But other than that, the line looked great, so just get that one spot fixed and you should be good for a while to come. But any case, that will end the inspection at 10360 Calvary Road in Independence, Kentucky.